You know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage. It's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today, we've got a 5-round descending ladder for you. We're going to be doing 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 of dubs, unbroken dubs, if we're really trying to do this competition style. And then we've got 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 of a kettlebell complex, which is going to be a kettlebell overhead squat into an overhead lunge each leg. And we may be looking at this thinking, I'm not even sure I fully understand what's going on here. And some of these moves seem kind of complex. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. Well, let's go ahead and start this general warm up, which is going to activate the muscles that we are using in today's workout. So the first move we're going to do is the pigeon. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate the pigeon for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the pigeon is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's sink into the pigeon on this side. So the pigeon is one of the most important activations that we do. We are laying face down and we've got that one leg up across the chest, other leg back, and it activates the glutes, relieves issues that might be going on with the IT band, and overall promotes good squat positioning. And let's go ahead and switch sides. So, as we previously said, it promotes good squat positioning. In the squats, we're always talking about chest up, shoulders back, knees out to the side. And that is the position that we are actively improving here in this pigeon pose. So good job here on this pigeon. Next, we've got some bird dogs. Let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 bird dogs on each side. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the bird dog is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 bird dogs on each side. Now, it could be that this is a bit hard on the wrists or the knees for some of us, in which case we may choose to do the dead bug. And let's have Twin One demonstrate here. That's where we're going to lay on our back. We've got the arms in the air, knees in the air, and then we are lowering opposite arm, opposite leg, and keeping the other arm and leg stationary. But if we are doing the bird dog as prescribed, then we are on hands and knees, raising opposite arm, opposite leg, holding the top for about 2 seconds before switching sides. So good job here on these bird dogs or dead bugs or whatever version is better for you. Next, we're going to get these calves ready for action. Let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the dynamic calf stretch on each side. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're actually going to do some dynamic elbows like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the dynamic calf stretch on each side. So on this dynamic calf, this also could be a bit hard on the wrist to do this off the ground, in which case we got you covered with some options. We can do this off of an inclined surface. Let's have Twin One demonstrate here. It could be off a counter, off a sofa, or even off the wall, but we're going to be in an inclined pike, bending the one knee, pushing that back heel into the ground, feeling the activation on the calves and the ankles. But if we are doing this off the ground as prescribed, we've got those hands down, we've got the hips up, bending the one knee, pressing that back heel into the ground, holding that for about 2 seconds, which is going to be really useful, especially for the jumping in those dubs. So good job here on the dynamic calf. Next, we've got some air squats. Let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the air squat for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the air squat is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the air squat together. So on these air squats, we have the feet shoulder width apart. And we've got the chest up, shoulders back, and we're going to initiate by sending those hips back and down as if we're sitting in a chair, but we're going all the way down, hips below the knees, pushing the knees out to the side until we get the hips below the knees, keeping the heels on the ground, and then we're driving through the heels until we get all the way back up. It could be that getting the hips all the way down below the knees is a challenge, in which case we could do some assisted squats. We could do some sit to stands. Let's have Twin One demonstrate here. We can sit and stand to a chair or a footstool or a medicine ball or whatever progressively lower target for assistance is needed. So good job on these air squats. Next, we've got some good mornings. Let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 good mornings for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the good morning is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the good mornings together. So on these good mornings, we've got those arms folded across the chest, feet close together underneath the hips. And we're going to initiate by sending those hips back and then getting that chest parallel, getting a slight bend in the knees. And then we're going to squeeze those glutes until we get all the way back up to a fully standing locked out position. So good job on these good mornings. Next, we're going to grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe, whatever we grab here. We want it to be super light. We're going to do some additional overhead mobility. Plus, we always go light before we go heavy, if at all. So with this light object in hand, we're going to do some pass-throughs, and let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we are doing this from a seated position, then pass-through is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 pass-throughs together. So on these pass-throughs, we've got a nice wide grip on that broomstick. And we are pulling it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back, belly button in the front. And then, of course, the secret to a great pass-through is that pass-through smile, which relaxes our muscles, helps us have a nice fluid range of motion without tensing everything up. So good job here on the pass-through. Next, we're going to do some overhead lunges. Let's go ahead and have Twin One show us 2 overhead lunges with the PVC. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're going to actually hold a light weight overhead. And then we're going to curl our other fist like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 overhead lunges together. Now, this overhead lunge, we are practicing with just a broomstick weight for now to assess our overhead mobility and our lunge mobility. If getting that knee all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge, then let's just forego the broomstick for now. And maybe we can do some assisted squats. Let's have twin one demonstrate, maybe holding on to a nearby object and then getting that knee to the ground with the assistance of a sturdy close by object, such as a sturdy piece of furniture or a pole or whatever the case. Or it could be that getting the knee to the ground is difficult even with assistance in this way. We could choose to do some step ups if we have a low footstool or a step ladder or even stairs, if that's a practical option for us. And optionally, we can include that broomstick overhead if we have the circumstances to do so. But this is another option to recreate the lunge motion without as much shear tension on the knee. But good job here on these lunges, whether it's overhead or whatever modified or scaled version of the lunge is better for us. Next, we've got some overhead squats. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 overhead squats, and then we'll hold the bottom of the 3rd squat here. Now notice a couple key things. Twin one is able to get the full range of motion, hips below the knees at the bottom. The arms are locked out in a stable overhead position with the weight on the heels as well, not coming up on the toes. And she's able to push that broomstick back to keep it behind her head in the overhead position. If we're struggling with any aspect of these points of performance that I just mentioned, let's not go any heavier than a broomstick for today. And let's go ahead and stand that up. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then for the overhead squat for today, we're actually going to do some tricep extensions. We're going to have a light dumbbell weight there. And then we're going to do some tricep extensions like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the overhead squat together. Now, on this overhead squat, it could be that we were doing assisted squats in the warm-up. We can continue to do that here. Let's have twin one demonstrate some sit to stands with the broomstick overhead. We're going to have that locked out. We're going to sit back and stand up. And if this is very difficult with even the broomstick overhead, then let's just forego the broomstick altogether and just focus on those sit to stands. But if we are doing the overhead squat as prescribed, then as we are descending, we want to push back on that broomstick in order to keep that object in the position it's supposed to be, in the frontal plane over the back part of our head. We're pushing back on that broomstick in order to keep it in that position and not let it bend too far forward. So good job here on these overhead squats, whichever version is better for us. Next, we're going to grab a super light kettlebell, as in 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light kettlebell, it could be a light dumbbell or any other common household object, preferably something with a handle today, such as an empty laundry detergent jug or an empty water jug or an empty purse, or honestly anything else. It could be a pillow, a shoe, a teddy bear. But with this object in hand, we're going to do some single arm deadlifts starting from between the feet. Let's have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those single arm deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 deadlifts together, 5 on each side. So on these deadlifts, that object is starting on the ground in between the feet. And we've got those hips super low, chest up, shoulders back, and we're looking straight ahead to keep a nice straight back. Now we're going to take a deep breath in and drive the ground away until we get to a fully standing, locked out position with the shoulders back at the top. And then, of course, we are bracing that core on the way back down as well. So good job on these deadlifts. And finally, here in the activation phase, we're going to do some strict press. Let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press, starting from the chest to overhead. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So on the strict press, the first thing that we have to pay attention to, especially if we're using a kettlebell or something by the handle, is how we're holding it. We're holding it from underneath like this, and we want to hold it at chest level. And so we don't want to push up from behind the shoulder there. We want to think more front part of the shoulder, upper chest, and then from there, we are pressing, getting the arm up into the ear. And we are definitely putting some backward pressure as we are pressing up in order to have a nice vertical path. Most of the time, we think we're going straight up, but we actually have to press further back than we think, especially in the case of the overhead squats going straight into those lunges today. It's going to be some constant backward tension on that object. So good job here on this strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 2 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be double unders. So if you happen to have a jump rope, what I'd like you to do is to grab that jump rope right now, and we're going to start to practice with some singles. If we don't have a jump rope, then we've got some body weight options for you that will show as well. But first thing that I want to see is just some regular singles, which look like this. We could do about 30 of those. If we're doing the body weight option, we can do some jumping jacks. Let's have Twin One demonstrate here. And that's some jumping thigh slaps that we can do. Or if we're trying to manage our impact, we can actually do some stepping jacks, which is where we would step to the side and then clap overhead like this. And then from the seated position, we could do the seated variation of those jumping jacks like this. Now, if you have a rope, after we've done these 30 singles, I'd like us to start practicing some double unders. That's where we jump and that rope flicks twice underneath the feet. And those double unders are going to look like this. And we have a special challenge for our RX level athletes today to do all the reps of these double unders without breaking as in if you break, you got to start all over in the set. But if we're just working on those double unders, no need to worry about that unbroken element. If we're doing our body weight option, we can perhaps do some jumping double thigh slaps. Let's have a twin one to demonstrate here. And then from the seated position, we can do some jumping double claps. But whatever the case, if we haven't done so yet, get about 10 to 20 more practice reps. And we definitely want to work on this double thigh slap, whether we have a jump rope or not. This is a great drill to work on our timing, and it's going to help us with those double unders for whenever we get access to a rope. So good job here on whatever version of the double under or the thigh slaps that we choose to do. The second move that we're doing today is actually a combination of moves, a complex with the kettlebell. It's going to be an overhead squat followed by a lunge on each leg. So to demonstrate, let's have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of this complex. That was 1. That was 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we have a special challenge for you today. We're going to be doing a double dumbbell tricep extension followed by a curl on each side like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 6 reps of this complex on each arm. And like we said, we're looking mostly for stable overhead position. So if we need to do this with even just our fist today, that's going to be a suitable option for us if we're still working on stable overhead position. We're working on getting the hips all the way down and then hitting those lunges. But we're only adding weight to the extent that we can hit the full range of motion. Now, if we were modifying those lunges, then we can continue to do that here. We can do, instead of the complex, if you like, then we can just separate out the complex into its component parts, meaning we can do all 10 sit to stands if we were doing assisted squats, whether with the arms are overhead or not. So in that first round, we'd be doing 10 reps of the sit to stands, followed by 10 step-ups on each leg, whether the arms are overhead or not. But instead of doing the complex, yes, we'd be doing the squats first and all the lunges on each leg right afterward. 10 reps of each in the first round, 8 reps of each in the second round, 6 reps of each in the third round, so on and so forth. All the squats first, followed by all the lunges. So good job here on this complex. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight in today's workout, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 2 to 4 practice reps of the complex on each arm, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout today. But if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please let's not add any weight. That super lightweight, 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less, or even just our fists today is going to be more than enough for today. But whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number one, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number two, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number three, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number four, music. Super important. We want some jams. They're going to keep us mentally focused today. Lots of high skill movements going on here. So, what's on your focus playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 5-round workout. It's a descending split ladder, meaning each sequence of moves has a different rep scheme. It's going to be very easy to get lost unless we are teachers' pets and we came prepared with the workout written down and our personal options and or personalized rep scheme, just like Mighty Mouse, and we've got Twin One with a great example. Let's go ahead and take this teacher's pet picture here. Let's show that whiteboard on screen and show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this 5-round descending ladder workout of 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 dubs and 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 kettlebell complex. Specifically, we're going to be doing 50 double unders, followed by 10 kettlebell complexes, total 5 on each arm. Then 40 double unders, followed by 8 kettlebell complexes, 4 on each arm. 30 double unders, followed by 6 kettlebell complexes, 3 on each arm. 20 double unders, followed by 4 kettlebell complexes, and then 10 double unders, followed by 2 kettlebell complexes. On these double unders, we have a special challenge. If you're able to connect at least 20, 30 in a row without stopping, I'd like you to really try to do all of these sets unbroken. If you feel like you can do 50 unbroken dubs, let's go for it. And if you really want to challenge yourself to focus, you can challenge yourself, hey, if I break, I have to start that set all over from the beginning. But if we're still working on our dubs, like we have some double unders, but not quite super proficient, we can either do the full rep scheme there, or we can cut those in half. We could do 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, if that's a better rep scheme for us. Or we could just do singles of the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, if that's better for us. Maybe throwing an attempt at a double under every 5 to 10 singles. And then, of course, if we don't have a rope, we can do those jumping jacks, jumping thigh slaps, or stepping jacks. Same rep scheme there, the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. On the complex, we are not adding weight unless we've been earning badges. And even if we've been earning badges, let's really pay attention to our overhead mobility. If that arm is bending or we're not able to get fully down on the squat, then let's separate out this complex. We'll do all the squats first, followed by all the lunges on each leg second. So in that first round of 10, we could do 10 squats, followed by 10 lunges on each leg. In the round of 8, we'll do 8 squats, followed by 8 lunges on each leg, all the way down 6 squats, 6 lunges on each leg, doing whatever modified version that's better for us, if that's a better option for us. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 5 rounds of descending reps of double unders and kettlebell complexes choosing whatever options are best for you. If you are good to go, give me a thumbs up here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. And then I'm going to highlight twin one to get us going. So here we go, guys. 50 double unders or singles or jumping jacks. 10 kettlebell complexes, which is that overhead squat followed by a lunge on each leg. If that's kind of crazy, we do all the squats first, all the lunges afterward. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these jumping thigh slaps or double unders or singles or whatever option is better for us. But we are looking to get through these 50, especially if it's unbroken. We can do that in 30 seconds or less. But in other words, if we are breaking these up and just doing this at our pace, we're doing these 50 in at least less than a minute or so. So let's pick these options accordingly. And on that note, there goes twin one. Boom. On these complexes. Hitting all 5 on one side before switching and hitting 5 on the other side. And we've got Mighty Mouse doing the complexes. So she's got personalized hybrid options. She is actually doing the sit to stand followed by a step up each leg. And because of the way she's doing it, she's actually alternating arms each time. And so lots of personalized options available. But nice work here, making our way through this set of 10 on the complex. Working our way down. Full squats, strong overhead mobility. Notice how twin one has the other arm out for balance. So nice work here. Let's go, let's go. Making our way down this ladder. And just like that, twin one done with round one. Onto this set of 40. Mighty Mouse onto this round 2 as well. And everyone here on track to finish within today's target window. And the target window is nothing more than the best way to know if we've made the right choices in weights and in movement options in today's workout. So we don't want to finish too much over, too much under, just right in the sweet spot there. But nice work so far on the second round of these complexes. All the way down, all the way up, full range of motion. And we do have the option, if we are modifying any portion of the complex, maybe doing sit to stands or step ups, we have the option to do all the squats first, followed by all the lunges on each leg second, if that's a better option for us. But Mighty Mouse choosing to do squat, step, step, squat, step, step, making her way down this ladder. And let's keep fighting for good overhead position, punching up, pressing back on that kettlebell or whatever object we're using. And there goes twin one. Done with the second round here. Getting over the bridge in this third round, starting this round of 30. Mighty Mouse, right on cue on this third round as well. Twin one making quick work of those, and already onto these complexes in this third round, getting down, hitting those lunges. Full range of motion, stepping slightly to the side for stability. Looking for that knee to touch the ground each and every time. And let's really press those arms back in the overhead position. We are getting it up, pressing back as much as we can, getting that arm into the ear. Working our way down. But nice work. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And then, yes, we are inching our way toward the finish line. Twin one going into round 4 here. These are the lightning rounds. These last couple rounds in a descending ladder workout. This is where we put the pedal to the metal. We are getting down, we are getting up, we are getting over. Mighty Mouse just finishing the jump part, moving on to the complex. And we know what to do as we get across that finish line. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. So let's do this thing. Twin one on this last set of jumps. Mighty Mouse on the last set of jumps. Speeding our way toward the finish line. And there goes twin one, the last set of the complex. And time across the finish line. Mighty Mouse as well across the finish line. Well, that was exciting as always. But now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're gonna do is the saddle pull. And that's gonna be where we sit back on those heels like this. It helps a lot of people to have a towel or a blanket underneath the knees and maybe an additional set in between those thighs there. And then we're gonna do the eagle part of the stretch, which is with the elbows like this. And if we're doing this in a seated position, we're just doing the eagle part of the stretch like this. And while we're hanging out here, let's do some high-low buffalo. And what is that? I'll explain as we switch onto the other side of this eagle. Just the other elbow on top of the other like this. So hi, what is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low, what is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo, what is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch into this pigeon. So we got the one leg up across the chest, other leg back, Same pigeon we did at the start, just hopefully perhaps a little bit more opened up right now. And while we're here, let's hear from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get the one arm up and pull back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, twin one?
My high were the dubs. The low was the overhead squat part. My body just does not like that move. The buffalo was I felt stronger doing that anyways in this workout. I was surprised. I was like, okay, my body's feeling better doing it. Still don't like them, but it still fights me. Like my body fights it, but I felt better doing them.
And you looked super solid and strong with those as well. I was almost going to suggest you just go to a heavier weight because it was looking too easy. But that's just due to your focus on good positioning and stable overhead, especially. So good job to win one. And let's switch to pigeon on the other side. So we got the other leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And we are sinking into this pose like this. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from a seated position, we're getting the other arm up and pulling back. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was doing the side steps for the dubs. I didn't have a low, but my buffalo was doing that complex. The stand with your hands up and then doing the step ups. It really gets your heart racing, and I was getting tired towards the end. But overall, it was a good workout, and I pushed through it.
Once again, if you look tired, it didn't seem it. You were crushing that move. This was more mental than physical, if anything, but you were able to stay on top of it and keep moving. Awesome rep scheme, keeping you in pace with the group. So good job, Mighty Mouse. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left, that sweaty selfie. Because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit group.
Fit crew. Thank you so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.